Hi, in today's video, I'm going to show you how to make this really cute fringy tree that you can hang on your wall. To get started, first of all, I got this form. It was a witch hat that I actually got from Dollar Tree. I cut the base off of the hat and seen that it was a really cute Christmas tree to use. We're going to attach our fringy cord to those 4 metal rows. I got this wood star from Hobby Lobby, but I'm sure you can go to any like hobby craft store like Michael's or whatever and get you a wood cutout star. It did come in a multi-pack. I also got garland, beaded garland, because it was on clearance. I broke all the garland apart and took the beads off to save for this project. Also, this is recycled cotton fringe or frizz. I really love it because of the texture, and I just really love those rustic textury pieces. On this Christmas tree, I'm going to do the reverse lark's head knot. It's a personal preference, but you could also attach it using the classic lark's head knot as well. Now, if you are using cotton frizz or anything like that, then just be aware that it comes with little cotton strands that you could just pull off to clean it up and make it look prettier. And there, we're just going to attach to each row, filling each row up with the cord. Also, you can use yarn. You don't have to use cotton frizz. You can use regular cord or even rope. If you use rope, I recommend untwisting the rope after you've attached it. It is a really beautiful curly texture to your tree. Now I'm going to fill each row pretty full, just till it's a little tight and snug on the row, and you can kind of feel that if you go and push it to the one end. You'll be like, oh yeah, this is pretty full, and then I can move to the next. And that kind of determines how to cut, how many pieces you need. I actually did this Christmas tree in one of my workshops, so I already knew about how many pieces I needed, but I would just start off by cutting, 25 to 30, and the length you use is entirely up to you. I wanted a little bit of overlap, but you don't have to have the overlap. The great thing about crafting with this tree is that you can be as creative as you want. And that's what I love about crafting, is that you're only limited by your ideas. I really wish crafting worked this fast, but it doesn't. Forgive me for the background noise, and then of course my cat. If you did not know, she is the main character, the unexpected main character of this video. She was really wanting a lot of attention while I was doing this video. And fortunately, I'm just making this piece to show you for this video. It's not something I'm actually giving to anyone, so I can rub her as much as I want. Typically, I'm in a pretty animal-free zone when I go to sort through my cord and everything. I feel like it's very important. Now, once you get all your rows done, I just kind of raised it up to kind of let the fringe fall forward. I tilted it towards me. And at this point, you can stop here, add your star and your garland, and like a 10-strand twinkle lights if you want. I can't believe I said tinkle. But when we were doing the workshop, there were a couple of people who were so creative with this piece, and I had to show you guys what it is they did. But one of the ladies, she was absolutely fantastic. She decided to make her tree stump. And I just thought it was so cool. So I figured for this video, I would show you both ways. You can stop with the green fringe or whatever color you've chosen, because you're not limited. You can do gold, you can do white, you can do silver. I chose green. And then I just chose like a basic tannish brown to do the bottom half of the tree. It's about 8 strands. My cord width is about between 4 and 6 millimeter. If you're used to macrame cord, you kind of know what I'm talking about. If you're using yarn, you can go thin, but just know that it would take a lot more. If you go with a thick yarn, that's pretty close to this cotton fringe, just more of a thick based yarn. Now here, I explained earlier that I took garland that I had purchased that was on clearance. It was beaded garland, and then I just took it apart and sectioned my beads off to use for different projects. Now hemp twine, in my opinion, is best to use when you're having to thread these beads for the garland. If you use jute twine, it tends to come apart at the ends and fray easier, which can make you a little frustrated. So hemp twine is a lot smoother. It seems to have a little bit more of a waxy coating to it, and it threads a lot easier. And I mean, it doesn't matter whichever is your preference or whatever you may have on hand. And I just pulled out about 3 foot worth of it. And you can swag your beads on each row like this, which I actually did on my very first Christmas tree that I did for the workshop. But then another person at the workshop did this really cool thing with their beads, and I thought, you know what, instead of swagging, I think I'm going to do what they did and show it to you. And they went at an angle like this and just kind of zigzagged back and forth across the tree, and I just really loved how it turned out. So again, you're only limited by like your own mind's creation, creativeness. But I love doing workshops and seeing what everyone gets to do when they're allowed the freedom to explore the items that I put in front of them and just kind of go at it how they want. I show them the basics and then they create the rest. It's really amazing. And I feel like it makes it more fun. So right now I'm just knotting at the top corner above the row so it holds that angle. Now if you were to swag it, you would tie it, that knot there, and then just swag it a little bit. It's like 3 beads across the top because it's so narrow, and then you would knot it again. Cut your twine and then go down to the next row, knot it on the next row, swag, cut it again. Because I'm going at an angle and a zigzag, I've knotted on one end. I'm coming down across the fringe and at the top of the next wire. All I'm doing is looping it twice. And the fringe is getting in the way, but you get the point. Want to speed up this process a little bit, but you get what I'm doing. So once I go across the second row, I just loop around the top of the third bar, the third wire, twice. And loop around the next one twice until I got my little zigzag going. Now if you've ever got the 5-foot beaded garland, you have plenty of beads to work with, and when they're on clearance, they're like $2.50 or $3 and something. I got these from Hobby Lobby. It was just a really great way to get a lot of beads so that I could use them for the workshops. Sometimes when you go to order, it just doesn't work out that way online. So how we attach the star is we're going to glue it. I usually glue it and then fix it onto the top. I use Gorilla Glue. The gel Gorilla Glue works really well. And it takes literally 10 seconds or 15 seconds for it to attach enough to where you can move your project. I would go back around the top of the wire on the back of the star with just a little bead of hot glue for some extra reinforcement, but your gel Gorilla Glue should work really well. On your star, you can decorate it how you want. I actually left mine raw because I like the aesthetics of how everything looked, and it looks really good in our camper space. There you go. I hope you enjoyed.